Okay, the recording is started. So today we are going to discuss about couple of solution architecture and the interview questions we will go and discuss and brainstorm. There is a query from a couple of people about the path. I will also explain. Uh, so are you able to see the screen, right? Okay, so now so now what we are going to do is we got a requirement from our client that there is a application has to be developed. Okay, it's a e-commerce application. Okay, so now you are the person going to understand and first define what is needed before going to say microservices. So the moment you say microservices, then the application first you have to define what are all needed, right? So as per this requirement, it is saying the project includes building a solution architecture according to the IT architecture vision and business requirements. The business outcome is to drive additional sales. That means they are keep on expecting to add more traffic through some offers, right? So the website should be easy to use. So that means the UI and the design should be good, and also the architecture what we are building, that also has to serve fast, and even the application has to be used for any gadgets, any devices from mobile, irrespective OS, and tablets and personal computers. That means you need to create application with cross platform. Okay, we will go inside. So first we need to create an application. Okay, let's go with the AWS, and you need to integrate with couple of invoicing systems also. If you really don't want to go the your own app future. Okay, how many of you in dedicated room? Tell me. I want to take this as a very interactive. So I will unmute you. If you are from if you are not in a silent room, don't raise your hand. If you are in dedicated room, let me know. I will unmute you. Yeah. Overall, so only one person joined from dedicated room. Okay. Raj, can you just tell me, suppose if you really want to, you are not a developer, but still we want to go to the DevOps project. So there is a application you need to develop. Let me open an Excel sheet. So what all you will develop? Say, for example, they clearly said the e-commerce application. They clearly said there is a e-commerce application. So what are all components you will normally prefer for one e-commerce application? What are all components you will prefer normally?
So e-commerce involves web related activities. So first we have to have a domain.
Okay. So let me just go here. No, I mean the functionality. Let's go with the functionality, then we'll go with the operations. Because for operation, we need a domain, everything. But what will be the future or expectation from the application side? So let me go here. So in that application, you need a sales, right? So whenever you purchase something, there will be a cart, there will be a payment, everything, right?
Yes, Vijay. For
So,
example, any for e-commerce sites like Amazon or Flipkart, so
yes.
first will be like most most of them will be window shopping kind of thing. So people will be looking for it. So the and if they are okay with that, it will be added to the cart. So some catch it will be for each user. So once
So
they are okay with that, yeah,
the sales is going to be two kind of a sales. One is some kind of a pot store, and also you can offer for online, right? So
yes, yes,
the
Vijay.
point of sale store can be maybe a small point of store. That's not an issue. So there will be a two thing, right? But what is the functionality you need in the application? Sale, right?
Correct, Vijay.
Okay. Now I'm going back. So the customer, what kind of a customer you need to maintain? So there will be a each user has to have a accounts and their properties, maybe their mail ID, their phone number. These are all mandatory to validate, and customer insights. So they need to keep add their experience or their feedback. You have to maintain that to in order to improve your grading system. Correct.
Yes, yes, Vijay. So each after each sale, they will be providing their experience
So
out of.
customer user management. So can I say customer user management?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the warehouse? What all we need in the warehouse as part of this, as part of
So
the in the application?
so
I,
warehouse,
so apart
warehouse.
from Raj, everybody not in silent room. I want to take this as a interactive one. It's okay. Proceed, Raj. Yeah, go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, yeah. So warehouse in the sense like the place where all the sales we are going to find. So how we are having a customer like the from the which shops is having the details like they will be connected to the e-commerce
No,
site.
first you need to say what is the demand. So that demand you need to keep ensure you have it in for sale. I mean, in your store, either shop or your online. Correct.
Yes,
So that is the supply chain. So when you slowly, because how the people have to keep understand, okay, this product is going very fast, this product is always runs out, and in the market, so you based on that only you can predict what kind of a product, because you cannot sell all product in throughout the year. Correct.
yes,
So
like a
based
flash
on the
sale. Like,
yeah, so winter, summer, so spring, autumn. So there are a lot of season. Each season you need to categorize the products. So and also there will be some products always will be there. Uh,
yes,
so you
like
need to have
a
a proper tracking in your application. Correct.
yes, Vijay.
So can I say here apply and demand tracking, or
Yes,
even tracking, and we can say instead of tracking, because it's not only tracking, we need to ensure those also has to reach that particular store or the online stock. Keep on, you need to refill in the backend, right? We can
correct.
say management. Okay, now what is the procurement? So you now got the demand. You now know what is your stock. You need to refill, right?
So we have to find the vendor and the best
Yes.
selling.
So you need to have a local vendors who can fulfill, and you need to procure and with some deals, whatever. But you need to have that functionality also correct in the backend.
Correct.
And what is the order management?
So once the product is finalized, so they are by now the user is buying the product. So after that, how much time it will take for the delivery? Those process will come.
So not only that, so whenever there is a person who is ordering and they are going to the shop and collect it. So rather than they can wait in the queue. So there are a couple of things. One is you go to the shop and you can buy and put it in a bill. But the other one, you can order now itself. Okay, just go and collect it. And another one, you can open online and order it so that the delivery will be in your home. So, and not only that, order management, whatever you are creating a demand, you are tracking the stock. That stock also you are procuring. How you will procure? You need to order, right?
Yes, yes.
So these are all will come in order management. Okay. Batmani, sir, everybody, I have unmuted you. So you can also participate. So order management. Now you can go here, product management. What is mean by that product management? I will tell you why I'm asking this, so that hereafter, if you go any interview, any exam or any project, even though you are not an architect, but nowadays you have to perform some kind of a knowledge, understanding, all this. What is mean by product management?
So the details about the product, or why this one was
No,
not clear.
just no. That's what you just say whatever you are having the some views. Then anyway, I'm going to explain everything. The reason why I'm asking all this.
Yeah. Kind of a stock take. What is there in my warehouse or store?
Okay, that those stock everything you will get into here, the procurement, because that is where you are feeding the current fast moving, and also the procurement will say how much I need to procure. That means you need to have the how much is left, how much is empty, how much is your stock. So what is this product management? Because whenever you go to Amazon or anything, there will be a catalog, right?
Yeah,
All the
categorizing.
products.
Yeah.
So you need to keep display the catalog, right? Sometimes some of the catalog you will hide because the it's not okay to display in this session. Maybe that will be available for next session, right?
Yeah. Yes, Vijay. Also grouping of products according to their categories.
Yes. So in that case, you need a detailed catalog management, correct?
Yes, Vijay.
So that will come in the product management. Okay. So now, what are all other parameter you can think of in product management? What are all other parameter?
Inventory management,
Vijay,
like
Yes. Go ahead.
from after it is ordered, once it comes in, we need to ensure what is the inventory, how much is available, so that even when we have to order the product, we can display it accordingly. If it is not available, then we will not be
No.
displaying it.
That how much is come, how much is left, and how much we need to order, whether the ordered one will reached, and so everything will be come here.
Inventory.
Procurement.
Okay,
Vijay,
but
be
Yeah.
some software product or what kind of things needs to be
No.
for financial?
Now we are talking about the e-commerce, simple e-commerce. So if you look at the client given This is the requirement. So they are asking
Yes.
us to create
For
some.
finance, they should be using some tool, right? What is
Yeah,
the product that to have
exactly.
that entire list
So you basically
for
you need
order
to
management?
have not only your ordering product, Sunita, everybody. So you also need to have a backend. What are all market demand? Those pulse also you need to keep store here, so that maybe you just purchase something based on this very less number and see how much is getting moving, because those are all will tell you, okay, time to time you need to replace all your catalog, all your thing. Definitely you cannot have all products all throughout the year. That is what I'm saying. So that you should have a clear mechanism in the backend. Okay, now product management, I'm just putting it. You just unmute and whenever you want to talk, you unmute it. So product manage.
Vijay, about the product management,
Yes.
so why it coming after the order management? Any why
No,
like
no, 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 no. We are not talking about which order and all. We are talking about the functionalities now. So we are not at all talking any who will come first. No, that order we will go during the microservices, because this understanding, if you have very concretely, you can very well cross any DevOps project, even Kubernetes microservices project. Okay, go on mute. Go on mute. Isaac, you have a lot of background noise. Okay, and delivery service. So now, what kind of a functionality or what kind of a expectation you will have as part of delivery service?
Packing.
so?
Yeah, parking, and even the point in
Delivery
store.
vendors.
Yeah, point in store. There is a billing collectors, right? And even the online sales, there will be people who have to coordinate with the location based team. You cannot send one team to across all location. There should be some warehouse in each and every nearby location. From there only, if you take any e-commerce, they are doing the same. If you order from Chennai, then everything the Chennai also will have some stock location. From that location, okay, if it is already available, then the delivery will be very, very fast. Okay, if it is not there, then first the system has to make sure the relevant product has to reach the relevant location, warehouse stock location. From there only the distribution will happen. So all those tracking have to have this one. So delivery. Now, why I need all this? I am a cloud person. I am a DevOps person. Why I need all this? If you ask me, I will study like this only. Okay. Now, apart from this, what are all additional features or additional task will help you as part of the your application? So whenever you want to do anything, you need to create an invoice, and you need to create a bill, and you need to pay it, and you need to give a receipt, and you need to maintain that receipt forever. And whoever is involving, they also have to calculate the salaries based on the points, score, grade, everything. Even these days, any
We also have,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, we also have to look at returns and replacements, that also, right?
Yes, yes,
Where
yes.
will that come?
See, I'm just giving you some idea, right? Yes, we can add that functionality. That is a more important. But that, can we say product management itself? That is the actual product management. He is purchasing,
Okay.
but when I don't feel or some damaged or it's not correct, then I need to return it. So that product management will maintain, but this will maintain via order management, correct? It's not only order management, I need to go and purchase. Even the return also has to be part of this order management, correct?
Yes, and even the invoicing, I think the return will have
Yes,
it will touch point or
So
everything on that.
everything is interconnected. Now I will come why I'm explaining all this. Okay, so now the salaries. So now if you think most of the major tasks covered as part of this skeleton, right?
Yes, Ajay.
Yes.
So to create this application, what are all IT operation? I mean the IT backend team responsibilities will come. So there will be a shop maintenance, and there will be a human resources. Means someone or some team has to manage in the backend to resolve the conflict, to manage the crisis, or to organize all operations, and security, especially on security and communication and IT support. This also has to be part of the your application module in the backend. Even though people will work, but they have to come in some accountability. Okay, now these are all already is there. So now, can you see this? Just forget about the new, or we will go with the brand new application itself. So everything is a new now. Now, why I need for a cloud a DevOps person? Why I need all this? For because I'm a normal cloud person, I'm a normal cloud, DevOps person. Why I need all this? I need a AWS commands, I need a Azure commands, I need a Ansible commands, I need a DevOps commands, I need a Kubernetes commands. Why I need all this? It's a waste of time, right? Okay, now I'm going to ask a very straightforward question. What is meant by microservices? We have discussed this so many times.
So splitting of a major work into small chunks and operating system.
You know the previously what will be the situation. So all this functionality we used to create, say sales, order management, whatever we are listing it down, right? These are all will be part of one single WAR file or ER file. It depends on the application. So whenever I want to add or enhance or change one particular module, I have to completely redevelop the WAR file. Not only redevelop, whenever I develop, I need to develop with, say, this application for Windows version. Okay, this is one more version, and this same application for HP Unix, same application for Solaris, same application for Red Hat Linux, same application for SUSE Linux. So whenever you want to put it, same application for Android. So now everything is gone. Why? Because now we are talking about the microservices. How come we now feel breathe? Simple. What I did is I just putting this functionality. I mean this in a simple sale.var, or I'm just going with a small application, sale.var. So I'm giving some name, say customer user management .var, customer user management .var, and supply .var, and procurement .var, order management order.var, and product management product.var, and delivery.var. So you can keep on add all individual functionality as one single application. Okay, now to maintain all this, I need one dashboard. So dashboard.var file. How many of you not getting this? Tell me, I will explain again. It's a very straightforward, very simple. Hereafter, this concept will never change, even for as long as DevOps is remains. This is how. Maybe they are going to add some sugar coat and future, but this is the exact you need to keep with you always.
Vijay, this each Vara will have any kind interconnection. Like if one
Yeah.
is not
See, this
right?
each and every application, when you say microservices, it has to be API also shipped, API enabled. API interface should be there. So then only this application can talk to this person using the API. This person can talk to this person using API. This person can talk to this person using API. This person can talk to. So whenever the end user point of view, they will come to here. So this again will talk to each and everybody the same API interface. Okay, now I'm going back to here. Come down. See here. So you need to map it whether what kind of a application system you need. So here you need to either go and deploy all. That means what kind of a functionality you need, what kind of a infrastructure you need, what kind of a deployment method you need. These are all you need to derive. I'm not going in depth the solution. They have different, but this is how whenever you get onto any project, don't go with Kubernetes or AWS or Azure or Docker. Those commands wise, you are already know how to create, how to run the commands, but understand the project. What exactly your project meant to be? If I ask, even after 5 years, people who are working in the project, what is your project? They are saying, I'm working in a Kubernetes project. I'm working in a Azure project. No, your project is not Azure project. In the domain, the product they are using, the Azure is one of the facility. That's it. I'm just going down. There are a couple of things I want to communicate as part of this. Okay, see, these are all too high level, but I want to show you. So this is what, how many of you here still have a confusion whenever we say in DevOps CI/CD pipeline, functional testing, everything, what is mean by that? What exactly we need to test? Any idea? Anybody?
Yeah, when you mention a functional texting, you want you want to text the applications is working according to the agreed function for to meet up the deliverables according to what you have agreed to do.
Yes. So which means can you correct me if my understanding is right or not? So whatever you are saying, if the banking application, that means if I want to transfer money to my friend, that means I need to add him first, add his account. Then I need to, while adding, I have to give the OTP so that the validation will be done. So that is one functionality, correct, Aisa?
Yes, that is a functionality. Yes.
So when I say CI/CD pipeline, I need to create this as a some kind of a testing sequence to test after, as soon as the build is over, as soon as the compilation is over, as soon as the war file is over, as soon as the deployment is over, I need to make sure this has to be tested, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Testing environment.
so now we are, can you see the screen? We are talking about the e-commerce application. Okay, so in this e-commerce application, there is a small functionality. So about the customer delivery. So the delivery, the customer, they have to have an account and they have to log in and they have to search it and they have to add the product and they have to pay for it. And this is one functionality, correct?
Yes.
So for this, the testing team, they are creating the use case, and that use case will be part of your CI/CD pipeline via Selenium or JUnit. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, we are a DevOps person. You no need to worry until unless you are a core testing team. What you need to worry is you need to just understand what that functional testing script which they are providing is doing. That's it. Because that clarity you need to have it. Then only when you create a pipeline, when you execute the pipeline, when you trigger the pipeline, automatically you will get to know in case there are any errors, which step or which use case functional testing it is getting the error. Are you clear?
So, Vijay, so what is the difference between functional testing and UAT?
No, functional testing and UAT. The functional testing is you need to first make sure how the application is going to behave after that expectation. You need to create all the validation, everything. The UAT something you need to pass the UAT kind of a transactions. Like say for example, you need to before you say okay this can we go live, right? So you need to keep increase the load, right? So the application I'm developing, I said the application once I developed, automatically I need to test because it's a single application. You are a single user, you are testing it, correct? But when we say the application, I'm going to deploy it in the production, the number of user will be massive, right?
Yes.
So the same application, first of all, you need to understand not only UAT. First, you need to understand why we need so many environments before production. From the dev to production, there will be a minimum 4 environments. So far, I seen. Correct. Why we need all these environments? Means each and every environment will perform some kind of a increase users, some kind of a increase the use cases. So what will happen is when we test to user, the application will be perfectly stable. But when we fire, we seen right on one of the sizing classes, correct? The same application, if you fire, there are a lot of tools. So you can increase the virtual customers to give a more load, because that will be the real case where you can check whether your application is multi-threading and multi-handling. Otherwise, the application will hang or crash. That's where the core dump and all people will start analyze before they say, okay, the application is passed. Okay, and yesterday there I seen there are a couple of confusions about around non-functional requirements. What is non-functional requirement? Okay, I'm just going back to here. I'm going back to this. Okay, as part of this, what are all non-functional requirements you can think of? Can anyone tell me? We are talking about the application. We are talking about the functionality. What is the non-functional requirements you will think of as part of this e-commerce application?
How many users will access the application at the same time? Number of users.
Yes, Shekhar, go ahead. If you are not from noisy background, you can go ahead.
The response time.
Well, we can say non-functional requirement is the number of people, number of customer you have.
See, can you see this diagram, the table? So number of hours of operation, first of all, right? Because that you need to define. Based on that only you need to make sure your all infrastructure has to be available, because you are defining business hour and non-business hours. This is more important. And availability. What kind of availability you need? That availability you can ensure the complete infrastructure has to be available always. So what we'll do is you will come up with the RTO and RPO. Okay, what is mean by SLA? What is the need when you say SLA with respect to your DevOps job? What is your role on that?
So to attain SLA, never.
No, that is okay. But as a DevOps person, as a cloud person, what will be my task in that? What I need to do?
Notifications before.
So you need to enable. Now you understand, right? Why we need a Slack, why we need a mail, why we need a alert, why we need a notification and all. Correct?
Yes, Ajay.
So while creating each and every pipeline, you need to first know this. Who will provide? There will be architects, everything they already define. How they will define? There will be a series of brainstorming session with business people, with senior application chef architect. So everybody, they will define all this non-functional requirement. But as a person, DevOps person, even though it's not directly related on this decision mechanism, but what I'm saying is, you whenever you go to any project or exam or any interview, try to explore this option, because this is some way indirectly matching your actual task. Based on this only, so now your question, you need to ask question, okay, in that case, what kind of a tools I need to use it? So you need to basically define the tools. This is the exact we are integrating for Slack or Discord or mail, or there are a lot of notification tool, monitoring tool. We are going for that. And maintenance upgrade, what is mean by that? What is the actual work? I'm a cloud engineer, I'm a DevOps engineer. What is that going to add value in my task? Anybody?
OS patching or application upgrade from a lower version to the upper version, or the language upgrade, like language version upgrade like Java 1.8 to 1.9, like that.
Okay, so now can you go back to some of our internship session? We have discussed, if we are all talking about not legacy application, we are talking about the microservices. So in the microservices application, how this business requirement is coming to my technical requirement, what you need to exactly do your things. Say for example, the containerization or Kubernetes, how via Kubernetes you will maintain this. We have discussed yesterday also. Even last week also we have discussed.
blue green deployments.
Yes. Blue green deployment, even the canary wharf deployment. I will just so before going to the type of deployments, you go and say deployments. We have also seen the bare metal. If it is a 3 version, you can use the deployments. You can even roll back also, right? We have seen, right? And how to track the versions and all. If there is any emergency bug after we deployed, correct? Rolling update, recreate, and all we've seen, right?
Yes, okay.
So so now you understand, right? So hereafter, whenever you go to any project or interview, don't think that these are all not technical. Actually, these are all only driving factors. Hope you are clear now. This is how you need to start project yourself rather than sticking with the technical. Technical is important, but you also start explore what is driving those parameters. Why I need to go for deployment? Why I need to go for say for example, I will open it, because this is the major gap people are leading to a lot of confusion. Whenever there is a technology changes, people are really stuck. Why? Because they are focusing on only commands. This is very easy. To be frank, this is very easy. But only thing is, whenever you think about your commands, how to implement, then you start ask one more question hereafter. Why I need to do a deployment? Why I can? Why? What if I can go for a different rather than deployments? So I'm just going for there. Wait. Will close all unwanted. So this is how whenever I go to any project as a cloud, when I was there 6 years back onwards, even though it's not my responsibility, I will try to engage a friendly discussion with my senior architects to understand what exactly the project is, what the project deliverable, and why we need all this. So if you start to explore, then whatever technical you are running behind, that will be really easy for you to correlate. I'm just going to Kubernetes. So there is a deployment. So if you see the deployment wise, we will go with the YAML file so that you will get a good idea. So in that, see here, there is a rolling update or a recreate, right? So if you choose rolling update, what will happen? It will not affect the existing containers, but it will prepare and will wait. Once the transaction is over, automatically it will replace, right? That is the rolling update. So exactly, if you see here, it defines what exactly you want to do. Okay, and unplanned downtime impact, because there is a severe bug. So you have to replace it immediately. In that case, what will be your approach? We already said we are trying to do microservices. So what will be your decision approach? You have to roll out. There is an emergency fix. There is a bug. The application is really struggling now. So what will be your approach?
Restart.
No. The restart and all is fine, but you already know there is a bug. So the developer released new version. So there is no point to go with a rolling update. You have to replace it. Yeah, Batni, go ahead. You can unmute.
Hey, is
Roll
that
back
auth
to the
fix?
previous version.
Sorry?
Auth fix. VJ, that's auth fix right there.
Yeah, but I'm asking, I just show you which one you'll choose it now.
Recreate.
Yeah. So you need to, now you are understanding, right? I'm just trying to help you to match the business as well as the technical. So
Yes, Vijay.
so there is a bug. So the Batni, everybody, the developer released the code and he already fixed it. But as a DevOps person, we have to roll out. There is no time to roll out, because anyway the management, everybody, they said, okay, you go ahead. Anyway, there is an impact. So already before going to the worst, at least we can start save, apply this fix. And batch processing time. So sometimes you also need to implement some gradual manner, right? So those are all we can go for blue green or cantilever. So those you need to first think what is exact your requirement. Accordingly, the way of technology you need to map it. And response time. So yesterday who asked the ingress part? Yesterday who asked the ingress part? The domain name. Okay, what is mean by response time? How it will relate it as a technical person?
So when reaching any website, how much time it will respond?
Yeah, but you are a Kubernetes or DevOps engineer. What that means? The response time, what that related to you? How that related to your day-to-day job? The answer is there in the table itself. So now you need to convert as a technical requirements.
RTO?
Yeah, RTO and RPO to define what exactly you need. But say, for example, website response time less than 2 seconds. Then what is your call? What you will do in your infrastructure?
That comes under fundamental requirements, right? So based on that, we do the load test and we will define the infrastructure. What infrastructure we need to respond within a 2 seconds or 1 second.
Yeah, that's fine. But what you will do in your Kubernetes environment, what you will configure? Say, for example, I'm showing some configuration, right? Like that. What exactly you want you will do?
Service.
You understand my question, or shall I repeat? So you have the NFR. You have the NFR requirement expectation is website response time less than 2 seconds, right? So for this, you as a technical person, you need to do something in your environment, your production setup. What exactly you will do to achieve this?
So load balancing.
Load balancing, it's okay, but website response, if you want to increase, then you need to
Ingress with sticky sessions.
ingress with sticky session. Okay, how many of you remember 111?
Yes, Vijay. So same server
So
with
one
DB.
part, who asked this question? Now you are able to understand, right? So this part should have a web tier, it should have an app tier, should have a DB tier, or whatever another components, additional component. So what will happen is you are mentioning the replica set. That means if you define a 10 replica set, 10 part will be created. So each part will have both. Each part will have a 3 tier. Okay, so the request will come here. For second request, third request will go here. Fourth request will go here. So when the request receive this part itself can process, because the web tier will receive with the help of application tier, with the help of backend DB tier, the full complete processed, and it will go back. So if this is going to be easy, or who asked this question? It's a very good question. That is why I just whatever confusion people had, I picked up this use case yesterday. So instead of this, I'm creating a part. Here I'm putting a web. Here I'm putting a app. Here I'm putting a DB. So the request is coming here. Then it will again go and take a help of with this and process. Again, this will also need this to process, to feedback. If this is going to be a right one way to implement, or this one correct way to implement?
Triple on mechanism.
How many of you agree? How many of you not agree? Isaac, everybody. These are all most of the interviews they started asking. Okay, so are you clear now? So this is how whenever you get onto any such requirement, don't think it's not a technical. Actually, this is a technical. This is the factors deriving or controlling us. Okay, now can you tell me what you will do?
Okay.
Sir, go.
One second. So in which case the separate DB apps web that mechanism will come?
No, most of the time I'm seeing if you have separate, say web itself will have some lot of catching contents, static based, then plus your data governance. But still, 111 is more faster and more secure because it's everything logically still is isolated, right?
Okay. Is there any sizing or DB size related here if we are going for a triple one all in?
But here, tell me one thing: the DB containers definitely they will have a data store in the outside mapping only. Correct.
Correct.
So in that case, you will not have much headache here until unless
Okay,
you are handling the
Okay, the load won't be there in this containers, right?
Yeah, it depends how you configure this DB stack.
Okay, okay.
Normally in container, the advice is you process it, but the thing is it has to be the outside. If you look at this, come down. Sorry. Okay, so go on mute. Okay, so now I'm just going and showing the storage part. Let me just go and say pod storage. Yes, this is the one. So pod. So if you see the Raj DB container, come down. Are you able to see this?
Yes, Ajay.
So
it's
normally it will be in the outside. The container, even if it is, that is why recreating container will not have any issue. Then troubleshooting.
Okay.
So most of the time you plan to take from outside, not inside container.
So just
you keep an image and spin it. That's it. But all transaction, all data has to be either the external volume based. It is always advisable, Raj.
Okay. Just one more clarification here.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
when
Go ahead.
we
That is
have
why I
this,
arranged.
when we have this volumes, it's a persistent volume, right? Persistent volume or
yes. That is the most recommended one, most advisable.
Okay. So we used to set replicas for pod. So when one in an issue, the new one will get created. How the new one interact with the existing PV? So
that is where the container image, whatever you are creating. So you remember in the cloud, we will take one machine, we will install everything, and then we will create as an image. That image only you have to associate with the auto scaling, correct?
yes.
Why you are doing that? Because whenever there is a traffic spike, whenever there is a rule matches, whenever there is a rule one satisfied, then it will trigger the new machine. From where it will trigger? Because you already created a custom AMI, correct?
Yes.
So the custom AMI once started, what will happen? Immediately it will be associated to the load balancer, right?
Yes.
So then once associated to the load balancer will start send the request to that machine, correct?
Yes.
When the request reaching to the newly created machine, then the new machine should have all the application configured, should have all the applications started, should have in the position to process the request immediately, right?
Yes.
So the same concept here. So when you
Okay.
say
So
container, you need to take one container, you need to create all what you want along with the mount point, along with the service, everything. So when I say the container is getting started, that means the started means it is capable to serve all the request, application is configured. That's it.
okay.
Okay, now the third one. What will you do this part? Solution should allowed for auto scalability evening and weekends. You
So
can
auto scaling. Auto scaling.
you can set up the auto scaling in a scheduler basis, correct? Because they are, as per this, they are saying there will be a traffic spike out during that evening and weekends, because there is a lot of people will start order, right? Because it's e-commerce, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is the average volume estimates? What that means?
So finding the peak utilization and setting
But
the limit.
how that related to one Kubernetes engineer or DevOps engineer? How this can be reflect in my day-to-day technical requirement? What you need to do as part of this? That's what I'm asking. What I need to do as part of this?
It's something to do with the traffic that hit the application on a daily basis.
Okay. No, actually, what you need to do is they clearly mentioned 1,000 transaction per day, just for example. That means they are mentioning 500 transaction per month, but website can hit 1,000 times per day. So you need to have some load testing. Say, for example, you have some containers. Okay, already the image is built. With that container, you need to fire up 1,000 requests, 2,000 requests, and 3,000 requests. And each and every stage, you need to create a documentation about your observation, right? This is what we have discussed in the first or second class, correct? Because you need to know that because okay, in the live environment, you need to define how much replica set you need, right? Everybody?
Yes, Vijay.
So how do you calculate that? You cannot just say I need a 20 replica set. Each pod I need with some capacity. No, you cannot. So how do you go for it? So you need to have this in place. I'm just going because not only that, I'm just going here. Let me just go and show you. How many of you aware how to schedule or how to define each container capacity? How to define each container capacity?
So like a CPU memory for each container.
Yes, 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 yes.
We have some documents here.
I'm just looking at wait. Just going to that multi-replica. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Vijay, yeah, go ahead. In the meantime, I'll search it. Yeah, Vijay, you can speak now. But while creating the container, you can define the CPU memory. I don't know where I kept, but let me just search the YAML file. Set CPU memory in container sample YAML file. Yes, this is the one. Yeah, this is exactly. So now, how do you define this? That is my question. Yes. How do you define this? How do you define this?
You will have a target like one CPU and one memory, and we will try to hit it say n number of times and check whether there is any deviation or any the application is working fine or not. Like that, we will try to hit it for n number of times, and we will note it down, and we will make a repeated
that is
progress.
it's not about note it down. That is the benchmark which you can create. Correct? Correct or not?
Yes, yes, yes.
So now you recollect that. So now you, based on that output or based on that information, is it easy to go and implement this, right? Expectation.
Yes, Vijay.
Okay. Now, what is the peak estimates? I'm just trying to recollect all what we discussed the first class. So the peak estimates expected evening and weekends. Also, so either if it is a new application, it's okay. We need to go with some approximate ballpark, but you need to keep revisit based on the usage. That is why we enabling the monitoring and the notification. If it is already existing application past 6 months, you need to get the data and what is the maximum utilization, what is the minimum number of transaction. Based on that, you can define this. Okay, and how do you define this backup and archiving? Can you tell me any idea?
Is defined based on the RPO, Vijay. So how much data loss is agreed, right? So based on that, we can determine the time of backup, whether it is 4 hours. Every 4 hours we need to take a backup, or every 2 hours we need to take a backup, depending on the agreement between the client.
Yeah. So now, what is mean by history? I'm a technical person. How that related to me? What I need to do? History. I'm a DevOps person. I'm a Kubernetes engineer. I'm a cloud engineer. What is mean by history? How it related to me as a technical person?
History will help us to determine what happens or how the application behaves, and what type for the say suppose if we are taking 6 months history, right? So we can determine how the application behaved.
Wait. So 6 months history. Then you are saying 6 months history, you need to keep it. Then what you need to do as a technical person?
So normally any log files in server, we will keep it for some 7 days or 10 days like that. So after that, we'll be purging it. So in this case, like we will move that log files to blob storage or anywhere and keep it there for some period of days. And if it is more like 6 months or 1 year, we'll move it to inactive backups. Like very rarely we used to recover or we'll check it. So to avoid
There
the
is
casting,
two things here. Can anyone paste me in the team chat? Yesterday I shared one click URL, right?
yes, in WhatsApp it's there. We'll share
Yes.
it.
Can you just share it so that I can give? I will explain this. There are two things you need to always understand. Because the keeping the log files forever, maybe a long time, will consume a huge size. Okay, nowadays
Shared
you
Vijay.
okay.
Share it.
Let me just go and check. Okay, so now I'm just going to the thing. I will open. This also will answer you why the data is really crazy on these days. Just copy link. I'm just going here. So Naveen, so keeping the log files, say for example 2 years or 3 years, it's okay. But from that log files, what exactly you need? You need just a graph, or you need to just understand what happened previously with respect to utilization, with respect to number of transaction, with all that this study only, right?
Yes, Vijay.
So if this study already you creating as a some output as a graph, everything, then is it really mandatory to keep all the files? You already created a report, right? You need just a report. That's it. That's all right.
Yes,
If the
Vijay.
report is going to be independent, then what is the purpose of keeping a huge log files forever? No need, right? Because remember, keeping the log files, you need to plan as a DevOps person, as a technical person, you need to keep plan for all your storage, everything, right? And you need to maintain the security, you need to maintain the data retention, everything, right?
Yes, Vijay. But
So
Vijay,
yeah,
will the
go ahead.
report be a static one or a dynamic one, Vijay?
No, that is what I'm just trying to make you to understand. So you need to decide what kind of a reporting you need, right? Let me just get it loaded. It's taking some time. Okay, in the meantime, let us go back to here. I'll just explain. So you need to, but you have a lot of data like files. Those files, of course, there will be a data retention period. If you could see any of your project, each document they will have a in confidence, internal, strictly confidential, strictly internal use, and all. You will use it, right? So you need to classify the data, and when you go and implement your any pipeline or infrastructure or Kubernetes, then you need to act accordingly. Where you are storing, definitely you will store all this in the persistent volume, right?
Yes, Vijay.
So, and what is this database growth projection? What is this database growth projection? What, as a technical person, what I need to do? As a technical person, what I need to do? Okay, I'm just going here. I'm just selecting something. Say, for example, we can go with healthcare. Okay, so I'm just going for okay, we'll go with this. Previously, whenever we collect the log file, Naveen, we used to get some CSV file report, or manager will create a pie chart diagram and put it in the Excel sheet. That are all right. But now we are in almost advanced. So if you keep click this launch demo, you can explore it. So go to any demo. It's on the fly. This is how the Click or Power BI or Tableau or Spotfire, everything is similarly working. So I'm just waiting. Okay, see here. So if I go here, it's is it looks like your monitoring tool, Prometheus or Nagios and all, right? Correct or not?
Yes, Vijay.
So now it's more than your monitoring tool, I would say. Why? Monitoring tool means you will just see, that's it, right? You will see some graph. That's the only purpose, right? Monitoring tool.
Yes, Vijay.
But here I'm just saying, see here, I'm just going to wait, let me. See here, I want only this. I'm just zooming it. I want only this area. I'm going here. That's it. When I say here, I want to have only this. Can you see the changes here? How cool it is? Are you able to see the values are getting changed?
Yes, Vijay.
So now you tell me. So if I create this and published, what is the need of my log file? If it is the legacy monitoring, then definitely you need to have all the files, because every time those files will be needed to maintain those graph monitoring portal dashboard, correct?
Yes, it will be.
But nowadays some of the monitoring tools also have the flexibility. Like once they created a graph, you can get rid of the backend files. So you need to plan accordingly what exactly you need. Then after the log file, beyond the log files, you also will have a lot of project related files, invoice. Those are all definitely you need to maintain some. So you need to split it out. Where you need to store log files, where you need to store the we discussed about this, right? So all this you need to first define where, right? So it's not about the history, it's about where you want to store everything, and what all you need to store, what all you can publish on the dynamic part. This is one of the very good tool where you can go and explore. Whenever you are free, you explore. This is exactly data analytics. It's very in depth. You can go for it.
Sure, Vijay.
So now I'm going here. Number of total users. What this will affect or help your technical part.
It can help us to determine the capacity that we need to determine for a server.
How you will define that capacity?
You see, if suppose there is 100 users going to hit the server at a particular time or a particular month, right? We can do a load testing and see how much capacity is needed, and based on that, we can set the capacity for the container or the server which we are creating.
Okay. Any other I think Naveen only talking. Any other views on this? How you will define for a technical person what this related to your day-to-day activities as a cloud admin, as a DevOps? Okay, see, we have discussed about the first class. We have discussed about the number of user, increase, load, and all, right? So if you keep increase the user, you are noting it down how much capacity you need, right? So accordingly, you need to define what are the number of replica set you need, and each replica set inside what are the configuration, I mean the capacity wise, you can define. These are all will come in this parameter. Come down. These are all really not. So non-functional requirement is something you need to keep understand all this as per you need to convert into your infrastructure. That is the actual. So here they are giving the expectation. Okay, now one more thing. What is the authentication? What is the authorization? How you will adapt into your AWS environment or pure Kubernetes environment?
So authentication is like a user's logging and their password maintenance. That is the
Okay.
authentication.
Some few years back, most of the website you need to create a individual user ID password. How difficult it is! It was a really nightmare. But nowadays, most of the, I would say 99% all the website now, if you have a GitHub account, if you have a Google, Gmail account, so if you have a Facebook, if you have a LinkedIn, almost you can go for it, right? You no need to register, right?
Yes, Vijay. So that will come under authorization, no? Or
No. I'm saying authentication. You need to enable the open authentication. So authorization means once you authenticated, you need to create a group because they are registering it, and that registration you need to convert as a role. So how many of you explored AWS Cognito? How many of you explored AWS Cognito? I'm just logging in. Okay, Samsul, can you just tell me what is the purpose? What is the purpose?
Having Cognito is to create user pools that will have the that will store the list of identities, person identities, in case you have no Azure AD or Active Directory or open IDC like Facebook identity store that can be used or integrated with Amazon Cognito to provide authentication services to access your application.
Yeah, so I'm just creating a user pool. Okay, pool name is, say for example, general users. Okay. So if you go here, you can have all the default one. So here you can even set all, like what is the password, length, and everything. Then later what will happen is this, you can map it with what all open authentication you need, either Facebook or LinkedIn, because some of the site, if you go to dev.to, they are not with some of the open authentication. So you need to define. So it's really easy,
Yes,
right?
Vijay. You have Azure AD. You can you can download the metadata from the Azure AD database, and you can
Yes.
upload metadata into Cognito, so
Yes.
that the application authentication can happen through Azure AD as well. That is also possible.
Yes. Yes. So now this Cognito mostly will help you to authenticate. Okay, you are a valid user. Then authorization. So as a technical person, you need to configure the mechanism. It's not about business requirement. So whenever you see this as a SME, you need to convert this how to implement, right? Come down. How do you achieve this audit controls? How do you achieve this as a technical person? Audit controls, how do you achieve it? As a technical person, for audit control, how do you achieve it?
So when it comes to auditing, we usually set the policy, I mean a password policy, or when a user from the organization leaves, you need to disable all the controls
So
we had.
that also separate pipeline you need to create it. See here, everything you have to create a separate pipeline, and you need to make sure every frequent intervals you need to trigger that. Correct? Here we are talking
Yes,
about the
we did.
automation. Correct?
Correct. So monthly or
Not monthly, every week, because you have to adhere the policy, because you need to clean up. You otherwise the audit while audit there will raise a lot of NCRs. So and confidentiality data. So just now we discussed in persistent volume we are storing all the data and log files, right? So you need to classify folder wise what are the data you need strictly confidential. So everything you need to maintain. So as a technical person, now you imagine this document is a huge, you need to do a technical implementation. Am I correct, Naveen, everybody?
Yes, Vijay, true. It will require a lot of documentation.
Because the reason is many people they are running behind use cases. So what I'm saying is you have a use cases. That's why I picked up this document. So each and every requirement, wherever hereafter you go to any project, please get this document. Similar document every project will have. So that document you sit together. If you don't understand, probably you can even ping me. I will help you. So from this document, if you convert each and every point as a cloud engineer perspective or DevOps engineer perspective, that is where the actual knowledge starts. So I know this is a reverse engineering, but this reverse engineering will work most of the time instead of going, but you need to have a basic understanding. You need to have a basic understanding on Cognito. You need to basic understanding on IAM. You need to basic understanding on S3 bucket. You need to basic understanding on RDS. So after that, you start do this reverse engineering. You will be really good whenever you want to face interview, whenever you want to face exam. Especially, how many of you here AWS Solution Architect certified? Most of the time, the exam questions will be scenario based. You agree, right?
Yes, we do.
They will give you one the question will be like this. They will give you one organization. These are all number of users. They want to increase it. So they will give a 4 answer. Is that correct?
Yes, Vijay.
Yes.
Correct.
So now, are you able to correlate what I'm explaining to the exam point of view? So exactly this is the reverse engineering you need to do before you go and attempt your exams. So there is another way. Directly we can go and study exam terms and you can clear it. But that is not going to worth in a longer run. Okay, I'll share this document also. I think I already shared yesterday in the GitHub. There is a one more point I want to explain. Wait, let me get onto the diagram. Now, Sunita, Batmini, everybody, are you able to see this? So it is everything interconnected. So when we raise invoice, the ordering automatically it will connect everything. So that means you need to make sure as part of the microservices cloud native, you need to make sure each and every component functionality has to be independent functionality with all API enabled, so that it will be a unique queue when you go and deploy cloud native solution. These are all not required. Okay, now I'm coming to the actual part. Now, in order to deploy this, can anyone help me walk through? Anyway, I will explain. Can you help me? Whatever we discussed so far, this is the stack you have to implement it. For this only, I'm asking all this question last 1.5 hours. Okay, now can you correlate me, anyone, so that I can correct you?
You want to walk you through this?
Yes.
Okay. Developers are writing the code in their own IDE, VS Code, and after a perfects its code, it put code in the central repository Git, and Jenkins is CI tool that is get triggered as soon as the code landed in the Git based on the functionality you set in the Git, using a webhook to internally pull the code and build the code and test it in Jenkins, and after that it's deployed into dev environments.
Okay, so I think Padmini, you asked, right? Continuous delivery and continuous integration, correct?
Yes.
Padmini. So now, can you just tell me, there is a two different circle, continuous integration circle, continuous delivery circle. What is the difference between this and this? Why there is a two different representation here? Anyone can answer.
So in continuous delivery, so when once the code was some mistakes, so it comes again for a new build. Then it needs approval in continuous delivery. Once approved, it will be checked again.
No, I'm expecting something different. Okay, continuous integration. First of all, what we will go one by one. Continuous integration. What exactly we are trying to achieve? Isaac, everybody.
We're trying to build code and have the backup for the code.
Yeah, basically we are taking the code, we are doing a lot of analysis, we are doing a lot of time testing, we are doing a lot of build, and we are doing a deployment, and we are doing a test, but that will be a series of testing. So which proves, okay, whatever I created, it is working, correct?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is
correct. Yeah. So now that code, validated code, okay, I am even I approved. Okay, that code probably we need to draw the same here. Whatever the developer Visual Studio Code JIT, the same we need to put it here, or you can put a link here, because whenever we validate, we will store. Yesterday we discussed about the branching, right? So we will store it in, say, approved branch. That branch have to be connected here. So the Jenkins, one more pipeline will point to that branch and pick up the code and using Ansible and deploying it. So when I say deploy, automatically I'm deploying in container environment, correct? Okay, I'm just going back. So can anyone walk through this? What is actually needed? What is actually happening? Whatever we discussed as per this Excel sheet, now we have implemented this infrastructure. So now, can you explain each and every component? What is the purpose here? Can anyone? I will. I'll be there. Don't worry. I will help you.
Yes. Okay. When the user access the web front. Not simple. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Wait. So
53.
probably I'll zoom it. I'll zoom it.
Yeah.
So that it will be
Okay.
easy. Yeah.
All right.
So,
Okay. So the user access www dot something. I can't see.
The funny headshot.
The funnyhouse.com through Route 53 and web application firewall is to filter the IP coming into the web server.
no, wait. So Route 53, what is the purpose? We'll go one by one. Route 53, what is the purpose?
It's a DNS. It is domain name service.
Sorry.
Yes.
Any other query? Any other explanation?
Route 53 directs traffic.
Okay.
Based on the water on
so
the
now,
policy on the
say for
policy.
example, Route 53 also you need to have this. You need to have say the location also you can control, right?
Yeah.
So you can also control which location has to go, which data or anything.
The
So
location,
Route 53
the
not
user.
only, yeah. So Route 53 it's an entry point, but you can divert to everywhere. So even you can say your the primary infrastructure is not there. You can also fail over everything. So now, yeah, proceed. What is the purpose of web application firewall?
Yes, Vijay, I think we're supposed to have a load balancer with Route 53.
Which one?
Route 53 with the load balancer to direct the traffic. So
yes. So it's Route 53 is acting as a load balancer, plus it is tagged to the actual domain name, plus it also redirected to the right infrastructure in the backend, correct?
I'm saying yes.
Yeah. Now, why the web application firewall directly attached to the Route 53?
It's just to direct to the certain IP, certain area of fire. Maybe like you want only the IP from India to access this environment. That is what the function of web application firewall. So you are filtering the IP coming to the environment.
Okay. So and also, what is the other feature why we need web application firewall these days? Anybody?
DDoS attack.
DDoS.
Okay. Is there any way? Say for example, I have one requirement. My application should not be accessed outside my country. Is that possible?
Yes, that's why I use AWS.
Access rules.
Yeah, to block certain IP to have access to your environment. That's what it is.
Okay, so now why we need a CloudFront here?
CloudFront is for low latency. That is a CDN, content delivery network, so that it can able to catch the user from that location of.
But my question is, we are talking about the e-commerce. What is the real purpose in e-commerce based website here, CDN?
Serving videos and images.
Yeah, but we are not a song or anything. We are a e-commerce ordering site. So in this site, what is the purpose of CloudFront?
For streaming.
You have a huge. Okay, I'll go back to this first diagram, the one. Are you able to see my changes in the screen? So we will go back to this. So we will, yeah. So in this, what is the major portion driving that CDN? Can anyone tell me? What is the major portion is driving that CDN requirement? Why we need a CDN? There is an answer in this diagram.
The point of sale.
No.
Okay.
Security.
Okay, so now I'm going back to this. I'm going back to CDN. Okay, CDN. Okay. Let's go and check why we need the CDN in this requirement, in this process. So I'm just going to here. So can you see this in this? Amazon S3 bucket, application load balancer, Amazon API gateway, and everything. So now I'm just going here. I want to show you. Okay, now if you go and say catch, it's not only the audio and video, right? Even your page is having more images and all, right? The static images, we are talking about a huge e-commerce. So there is a lot of static images, right? As part of product management, you need a catalog, right? Product catalog, right? If you go to any ordering website, each and every product, they will have a minimum 5 to 6 images also, right? Plus all the images, correct? Correct or not?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
plus your normal HTML, all those things has to be catched, right? It's not about CDN is not about only the video and audio. So that is where I am saying come down. Yes. So now the AWS CDN will help you to achieve with very fast access. Okay. Can you see this S3 bucket? You now understand why we need to connect CDN to S3 bucket, because most of the time the images, it's really terabytes. Seriously, it's terabytes, because that much contents, static contents will be there. So you need to have this until unless if you don't have, then your performance will be degraded. Very worst part. Okay, now internet gateway. Why we need internet gateway here?
That's able to connect to
Because
outside world.
you want to expose it outside, but you don't want to
Outside world.
expose anything internal, right? So
Yes.
you are bringing the application load balancer. The application load balancer will act as a gateway here. So it directly connected to the internet gateway. So now why we are putting web server in one subnet as well as web server in another? So we are spreading across the subnets. So to make more resilience in subnet level also. in zone level also, availability zone level also, right? Now, why we need elastic catch here? Why we need elastic catch? What is the purpose?
Just to reduce number of query on database. Just
yes, because you have, say for example, in this there is a huge number of transaction, everything. So in that case, most of the time they will view. If you go maximum 70%, they will just browse and understand what is the price, everything before they order. Correct?
That's correct.
So that case, they have to go and facilitate something catch as part of their product cataloging. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so these are all, it's okay. Now go back to the same table and check what is the operation we have discussed. So hereafter, don't worry if you see kind of a document. It's not a, people are really recently also I experienced, people are saying whenever seen such a document, oh, I'm a DevOps engineer, I'm a cloud engineer, I'm a Kubernetes admin. These are all senior people will do. No, the IT field is changing. Please come out of that mindset. Whenever you see the document, start asking yourself, okay, this document, how it is related to my technical job. So seriously, it have a lot of correlation, a lot of interconnection with your job. Okay, can you see the operation here? Shop maintenance, human resource, security, communication, IT support. Now come back to this diagram. Come back to this diagram. Okay, now can you tell me why we need all this? We need cognitive authentication. We need KMS to store all our keys, authentication keys, and we need monitoring. Okay, and we need emails. We need payment gateway, because payment gateway we cannot implement. There is a vendor, so we can integrate with. So for that, you need to have some dedicated VPN, and also, so you need to have a delivery. So now another VPC, you have to have the similar infrastructure for stock management and invoice system. Come down. So now tell me one thing, how many of you don't understand? I will explain again. So this is how you need to do a reverse engineering from the requirement, from the understanding, how you define this. Exactly those who here, anybody AWS Solution Architect Professional certified? Anyone, or Solution Architect Associate? Even Solution Architect Associate also, similar questions you will get lot.
Yes, Vijay.
Yes. Yes.
So hereafter, even your certificate expires, you want to renew, please don't go with the exam based dumps. Please take some 15 to 20 architecture like this. You start do a reverse engineering. You will be really good. So this is how I learn most of the time. I never go anywhere. I simply go to Google, pick up some good use case like this, and I do why people are using this Route 53, why people are using WAF, that too a retail project. So if you start ask why, then you will get some clarity. That is the exact purpose you need to go for it. Okay, let me just go. So this is how you need to start work on it. Whenever you want to give a solution, you need to work on it. I already shared this diagram document, so make use of it. So the same, if you want to implement in Azure, actually this is a really good document. So the same, if you want to apply in Azure, then Azure based some services mapping, how you want to be. So this is also one of the area where you need to explore it. The same, if you want to apply it in on premises, that is the reason I thought to explain this to everyone. Okay, what we will do is, I'm just closing this. There is a template also I attached. So you can take this template, you can prepare yourself, whatever I asked question, you prepare in this with answer. If you are really interested, send it to me, I will review it. Don't worry, even if you do a mistake, don't worry, I will help you. This is a simple template. If you are really focusing future, you want to be a solution architect, better you keep this whatever we discussed, you keep this PDF, you keep this PPT and prepare it and send it to me. You take some input from PDF, but you honestly do this exercise. I'll share it with you. Okay, now. Okay, I'll just